Hello there. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Astropoet. Hello, Elizabeth. Good evening. How are my friends this evening? Elizabeth, it's nice to see you, Astropoet. Thanks for stopping in. Sarah, how are you doing, Sarah? I hope things are improving in your situation. Taking care of things can be very challenging sometimes, and my hat goes off to you for standing up into the face of the wind. Tim, my man, how you doing? Well, I hope. Carrie, I hope you're cuddled up with your puppies. Marty, it's nice to see you. How you doing? Well, I hope. Young Maestro. Oh, I don't know how young I'm feeling, but okay. I'm not feeling very extraordinarily young. But I'm feeling good, though. The information in the world has been a little bit hard to take this week. And I find when things get out of bounds on the window into the society of this world right now, the best thing to do is to shut the drapes for a minute. That doesn't mean stick your head in the sand. A lot of people like to criticize people who really want to disconnect from a lot of things that they're sticking their heads in the sand, and I really don't see it that way. It's okay to close the drapes for a minute and stop looking at things that are upsetting you. And to notice something that pleases you. Something that you can literally feel eases the pressure off of you. You got to be careful that a fictitious analogy doesn't start to build inside of your head as if these things are some object that you are in orbit around. They're not in orbit around these things. These things are happening. But power comes from within, and we can choose to shift our focus if we want to. And sometimes we need to. I'm here to help the shift. Welcome to Golden Hour. If you happen to be new in the room, my name is Jace, and you are most welcome to be here. I like to invite everybody to relax, not think so hard, except if you would like to share some creative things or happy things or even some challenging things. Challenging things are good to share. Sometimes we help each other here in this chat room. I've seen really good advice go back and forth between very caring members of our kind little family. Well, it's Jean. Jean, where have you been? You were probably here and I missed you or something. But if not, it's good to have you back. Glad to see you. So, let me take my fingers for a little bit of a warm-up here. Well, if it isn't Thomas Munyon in Facebook. It's an interesting story. Thomas Munyon has been, I hate to call people fans, it sounds so cold, but someone that has enjoyed sharing in my music for years. And then I moved to Palm Springs. I was standing in a grocery aisle at a grocery store. And Thomas had been a great communicator and still is. Wonderfully nice man. Just constant source of good energy. And I looked down the grocery aisle and he's standing in front of me. And I recognized him from his Facebook profile. As I'm putting my bread up on the countertop, I say, "Hey Thomas, how you been?" He looks at me and he's kind of like, had to double take for a second. Jace Vek, Facebook. Just seen the look on his face. Surprise is the best part of life. Some people don't like surprises. Some people have a association of fear with the unknown. And that's a normal thing. Here's to the unknown and not being afraid of it. Flower Child Carrie says, "I love Jace's wisdom." I don't know if I call it wisdom. I am a treasure trove of mistakes that I've learned from. Hello, Carolyn Rockoff in Facebook. Isn't it nice to see you? How's things in Delray Beach, Florida? Okay, I gotta get serious here for a second. In the end of the day, the golden hour. Chance to look out at the horizon. Forgive yourself for your mistakes. Be grateful for the day. Settle your eyes out onto the ocean with the skyline, the mountains, or the trees, or the city streets. Relax your vision and take it all in. And we have a new friend in the chat room, Make a Memory. I invited Make a Memory specifically here this evening because, you know, I just get that vibe that she's somebody that would really like to chill with us once in a while and hang out. She's got a cool energy and is a brave soul, and here we are. Thanks for joining us. At any time, the door is always open. Make a Memory. If you're comfortable with sharing your name, maybe the next time or the time after that, or maybe never. Doesn't have to be. But you're invited to share it if you like. At any time. No pressure. It's another beautiful night here. We've had 2 nice nights in a row. The days have been hard in the mornings. Living here on the coast of San Francisco, from May until August is a very challenging time of year, and my friend Thomas Munyon knows that, who's joining us from Facebook down in Palm Springs. And I'm sure my friend Carolyn Rockoff down in Florida knows what it's like when you get 3 or 4 weeks of inclement weather, because Florida can do that too. But this has been a little bit extra challenging. Because here in San Francisco, we start with May gray, then it moves to June gloom, then it moves to no sky July, then it moves to August. Then if they make one up for September, I'm leaving. That's it. I'm I'm out. It has been 4, 5, 6 weeks here since we have seen, like, waking up in the morning and seeing the sun. And for me, and I say this only spiritually, it's like when you see that picture of a superhero healing in the sunlight, that's like my spirit heals in the sunlight. When I wake up in the morning and the rays of the sun hit me, coming in over top of the treetops, that's a real powerful moment for me. And I give my gratitude and my thanks and my touch on my spiritual sides, and I think about the things I want to do for the day, and there's this sense of optimism that comes with this, and it's really hard for me to duplicate that when I'm sitting in front of 35,000 lumens of lights in the light room next door. I have a light room set up with tremendous light, and I sit in front of it like this. It's right out in like a crescent shape in front of me, arrayed, and I sit in front of it and I listen to harmonic frequencies and things, and it works. It does help. I think sometimes in life, when we're faced with the most difficult circumstances, that effort is what is required, even if we aren't sure of what we're going to get. It's important to emit effort that puts a vibration out into the universe. Things that have possibility will sit still if they aren't given some outside force. So even if it feels like we don't feel like doing something, I have this minimum viable commitment I set every day, and that's what's kept me in this seat. Thomas Munyon says it's been 113 degrees in Palm Springs today, and I deliberately checked the Palm Springs forecast 2 days ago because we've been thinking about coming down there for a week. And no, Thomas. There you are, Thomas. No, we're not coming down there yet. And I want you to know that my heart goes out to you, buddy. It's been about 115 degrees down there for 3 weeks. What the heck is going on? There's a heat wave in Greece right now, So, here's to me hoping that everybody is well taken care of or taking care of themselves well. That's for sure. That's for sure. Sunrises. Let's do a song about a sunrise. This song is entitled The Last Sunrise. And it is on my live album. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. And like all of my work, if you simply do a Google search for Jace Vek at Bandcamp, it'll take you straight to my Bandcamp page. Just Jace Vek at Bandcamp. It'll take you straight there, and I'll go ahead and put this out over here too. And you can own all of this music. And this song is on my live album with Symphony Orchestra. I'll tell you what it's about. I mean, it's about a sunrise, but there's more to it than that. I'll tell you about what that was about after I'm done. Things that make me go, again, that was The Last Sunrise. Hello, Candace James. And that is on my live album. All this music is available at my Bandcamp. Just do a Jace Vek search. You'll see it. Jace Vek in Bandcamp. And Thomas Munyon says that's my favorite. Thomas, you are most welcome. Carrie says this music heals her. Well, that is a beautiful thing to say, and I'm grateful to participate in that with you. I really, really am. That's why I'm here. One of the many reasons. You must be getting all your sun here in Vacaville. Honestly, you can have it back. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Marty. I certainly don't send it to you at a vengeance. I send it to you with good vibes, and this climate situation right now is just... Appreciate the good vibes, make a memory. Thanks for joining us this evening. And thanks to everybody. Thanks, Elizabeth, for all the nice things that you're saying. Well, if it isn't Colleen. Hello, Colleen, and welcome. It's nice to see you this evening. How can we get you set up on the roof? Tim's saying this because there's a sunrise happening up there right now, and it's rather stunning here. Our back deck looks out towards the Pacific Ocean, and the sunsets here are just mesmerizing. They really are. Not so much at this particular time of year, but we're about to go into a season here that Thomas is familiar with too, where things are just about as pretty as they can be. 70-degree days and sunshine every day. So, or 60, or sometimes 50. I mean, let's be realistic. This is San Francisco. Okay, now I've got more requests to set up on the patio. That track is called Pastoral Moment, and that is on my album Mercury. Tim, Jace, I need to rock out and record some YouTube content. Okay, rock out. Do it, buddy. Lisa, how are you doing this evening? How long have you been in here? It always brightens the room every time you come. So glad you're here. Joe Morris, nice to hear from you too. You're becoming a regular face around here. I like that. Hey folks, you could really help me out by hitting the like button and sharing this broadcast. I remind everybody, because it's so very easy to take for granted, I watch other people's lives and sometimes I forget to do it too. But what happens is when you hit the like button, it's like applause. Other people hear applause and sometimes they look this way or they look that way. When you hit the like button, TikTok responds with the algorithm and this video gets seen by more people, just like if you were plotting. So when you do that, you are helping this broadcast, you're helping the sustainability, all of it. It's a big deal. And the sharing too. Anyone who wishes to share this live, please do so. That is another great way to do it. Even if you don't think you have a lot of followers, it makes a big difference. So, all right, let's try something here. All right. Sorry about that. Hey, James, how are you? Good night, Candace James. The best thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh my. Thank you, Lisa. I don't take that kind of praise for granted, and I know it's coming from your heart because that's the kind of person you are, and I'm very grateful for you. Thank you so much. James Allen says hello. The Mountain Man is over on Facebook. Remember him? Hello, James Allen. It's good to see you. There you are. There. All right. Let's fix this. I know the screen's acting a little wonky, but this is the risks I take here. Let's try this. More of it this way. This is stuff that's just in the process of being put to the test that I'm doing. If you're not on TikTok, you're not seeing what I'm talking about. I'm running a video at the same time as I'm playing, and I will integrate that into these other social media networks as well in time. As it stands right now, I can only do 15 things at once. When I get to 16, it's forget about it. That's a little bit of sarcasm there, but that's what it feels like. But I'm grateful to kind of clamor my way through this and be able to make some wonderful friends like you all in the process of doing it. can get some practice at switching this stuff around like this. I'll get better at it, I promise. Okay. No words. Who needs words? That's I'm just teasing you, of course. Thank you so much, Carrie. I know what you're meaning there, and I appreciate it very much. Anna Ree, nice of you to join us. How you doing this evening? Poets. Hold on a second. Poets. We have an astro poet. I know that's you. Poets need words. Well, of course. Without words, poetry would be a tremendous loss to our experience. And I love poetry. Speaking of poetry, Astro Poet is someone you should check out. Check out her content and listen to her read her poetry, of which she is now published. Yes, she's managed to pull down that accomplishment, which basically, if you know anything about poetry, that's kind of like the grand prize of one of many, is to be able to get some good publishing going. So congratulations, she deserves. Hold the phone close to your face and it's really trippy. Cool. Now we're getting somewhere. Natural high is the way to go. Hey, we got 16 folks in here. If you're in the chat room and you're new to this, perhaps you just might perchance be your first night. I'm Jace. I'm a composer, and welcome to our intimate little nights called the Golden Hour, where we just chill and I experiment with music that I'm working on. It's kind of like basically a session, really. And I just keep showing new things and doing new things, and we keep having fun every night. And this thing keeps expanding. I keep coming up with surprises for us, so we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm a musical poet, Anna Ree says. Thank you so much. I appreciate that more than you know. Let's pull some Pink Floyd out of the bag. Well, our time just seems to fly. Jace's music inspires me to much creativity. Astropoet, thank you. I appreciate everybody's wonderful comments this evening. Thank you for all the likes. And I'm grateful to be here to share this time with all of you. Beverly, you are most welcome. Thank you. Having a wonderful, lively discussion about poetry here. How cool is that? So happy to have this group of eclectic people gathered here to enjoy these good times. This is awesome. But having said that, I'm afraid we're at that time now when we need to wrap it up for the evening. Such transcendent music deserves a discussion on transcendentalism. Yes. Anybody have any questions they want to ask me? I always like to open the floor in the evening to if anybody has any creative questions or things about I'm working on. You want to tell me about something you like or you wish or you want or you something special? Thank you, Elizabeth. You have a good night. Anything? Don't be shy. Colleen, are you from Pennsylvania? Just out of curious. Because I'm seeing a yins in there. I'm from southwestern Pennsylvania. I know how to spot a yins. Recording of the new version. Right. Coming. I appreciate that. Please remember that all of my recordings are available on my Bandcamp. I'm always supposed to remind you at the end of the broadcast. If you simply do a Google search for those terms right there, Jace Vek Bandcamp. So when you click on one of the albums, it takes you to the album page. And then from there, you can buy the whole discography for one price, which basically means all of my downloads. Why they call it a discography when it's a download? I guess that's something that they're really stuck on there. It's a way of referring to an artist's entire catalog. So it's all of my music in one purchase. I think it's like $45 for everything. But you can buy individual tracks, individual albums, and you can go there just to listen. If you heard something you liked here this evening, you say, I kind of want to hear that again. Well, there's players inside of that room, and they're easy to spot. All you have to do is click the play button, and you're in business. Free of charge. Henry, very nice. When I get some dineros, I will definitely purchase. And I'm definitely grateful. Thank you. So, I will say this before I close it down this evening. With what's going on right now in society, I'll say this, and you kind of know where I'm going with this, and I'm not trying to get into this type of line of discussion in these events that we're doing. But I try to bring good energy with my music. Music for me is someplace to not be marinating in all of these things, and I have to say, this past 5 days has been a real... People are fired up about this music that's been released. This Aldine track. And he can do what he wants to do. It's, and I have nothing to say about the artistry of another artist. Zero. When it comes to quality or what it is, what it isn't, whatever else, you know what I mean? I'm not one of these people that likes to throw mud either when it comes to one artist to another. But for me, if I wasn't able to transform the emotions I feel from something to something, if I couldn't sit down on this bench okay, and get off of it, free of my demons. I'm releasing them here, but they're transformed. There's something comes in is different than what comes out. And anyway, intentionally positive music. Well, some of the things that inspire these tracks are definitely anything but positive, because what happens is it's the sum total of all my parts. My good parts, my bad parts, my good wolf, my bad wolf, everything. I think sometimes artists like to stick a label called a track name on a track, and sometimes people get pretty creative with those things. And in New Age music, it's always, when I started out releasing solo piano music, it's always fun to see the titles that people pick, because they're wonderful and fun, which is the way to describe that. They're just, it's almost like a fantasy story when you read the titles of these tracks and things. And that's cool, because they want to carry people away. For me, the music is not something that is tied to one person, one place, one event all the time, except maybe 5% of the time. And that does indeed happen. So, how old were you when you wrote Thaddeus Variations? I was in my 20s. I was in my early 20s when that track started to come to life. Yeah. Man, I've been around for a minute, I guess. I've been around for a minute. 50 years old, I am. 50 years old. And I got a birthday coming up. Maybe we'll have to have a little celebration birthday concert. So, transformation is a powerful thing. And it is. You're seeing transmutation. I'm talking also about transformation. It requires effort, though. It doesn't happen like that. We have to release the things that have a hold on us. You know what I mean? When you can feel, okay, either something has a hold of you or you have a hold of it. And when transformation takes place, for me, that imagery in my head, which is really a story, it switches from something have a hold of me, holding hold of me, to me having a hold of something and letting it go. It's like, it's almost, in some ways, it's almost like a rocket stage. That energy of whatever it is carries me up like a rocket, creatively, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, And when I get to a certain point, you flip the switch and that first stage busts off. The booster breaks off. And the idea is to get to a point here in these things, in this practice, where I'm achieving exit velocity. They refer to that as delta V, to get into orbit, and building that up and reaching that mental state where I can no longer be impinged on by what I've seen or what I've experienced that is of negative things. Makes it easier for me to be able to focus on the positive things after I'm done. Like when I'm done here, I'm going to relax upstairs and I'm going to chill with Hank, have a little dinner. So yes, Astropoet, it is indeed like a metamorphosis. So I want to thank everybody this evening. Did you learn in the end by Linkin Park? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. You know what? If you want to do me a favor there, why don't you send me a message? And I just went ahead and followed you. That's another thing I have to do. I got to make sure I'm following everybody in here. At least I tried to. For some reason, maybe I already am. I don't know. Yeah, just send me a message about that. That helps me get that to a reality. I don't mind learning a new thing every now and then, so maybe I can get to it soon. We'll see. I've got a lot going on, though. That's for sure. So I just want to say thanks, love and feeling, for joining us this evening. Sirius 2026, you rock, shalala. Thank you for stopping by. Astro Poet, as always, DGD, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for your wonderful words and your kind inspiration tonight. I want to thank Carrie, very much so, for joining us. Beverly, thank you. Elizabeth, peace and sunshine. Peace and sunshine to you. Let's see here. I know Jean was with us this evening. I don't have to see that to remember that. TM, looking smoking tonight, Jace. Let's see who we got here. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tina Marie Cherokee. Aren't you nice? Appreciate that. Colleen, it was nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And Anna Ray, of course. Joe Morris. Had quite a little chat room here tonight, didn't we? The full complement. Yeah, I'm probably missing somebody that was here at the start. Beverly, I got you. I like to do this because it helps me remember everybody. And Candace James, you were here. And I think you left because you had to go to bed or something. Maybe? Am I confused? Marty, it was good to see you too. And last but not least, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Sarah. It was so kind of you to always make time for me and our little family here. So, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Have a good night. It's dinner time. And I'll see you tomorrow night at Golden Hour at 5 p.m. Let's enjoy the sunset together. Have a good evening. Thomas Munyon, thank you. James Allen, thank you on Facebook. And Carolyn Rockoff joined us. So I want to thank the three of you and anyone else who might have been on that broadcast. I hope I will see you all soon. Have a good night.